very bright and very faint, and very bright and very faint. And it's a massive star. It's about 10 times the mass of our sun. It's much bigger. It's about 200 times larger. And it's, as I say, it's very variable. You can see it's still surrounded by clouds of dust. And what happens is every time you get an increase in brightness, that light is reflected off the surrounding dust clouds. And this structure is big enough that it takes a time for that light to propagate out through the dust. And so you have a phenomenon known as a light echo, where you get a pulse of light from the star that is then reflected off some further parts of the dust cloud. And so you see these light pulses rippling out through the dusty nebulae. So again, this is very much sped over. This is kind of going over the 6-week period, but as the star varies, those flashes of light move on out through the cloud. And it looks like the cloud is moving, but it's just the light moving through the dust clouds. There are other examples. So this is a variable star that's varying all the time. There's a very predictable pattern. Sometimes stars go into outbursts. So this isn't a flare on the surface. It's much more an intrinsic, huge release of light from the whole star. We don't necessarily know why they do them. And one such example is V838 Mon that's shown here. This underwent an outburst in 2002. We don't know why. It didn't go supernova, it didn't go nova, it didn't shed any material. It just went very bright, very intense for a short period of time and then faded away. What's happened since, though, is that light has propagated out from that one burst, is propagated out from the star. So I'm going to show you a movie that spans just a few years that's showing you how this light propagates out through the dust. It looks like the dust is moving and expanding away from the star, but it's not. It's the way that the light is moving out from the star and illuminating successively more distant layers of the dust. And as it does so, you can see fantastic structures within the dust. You can see kind of walls and eddies, and you can see perhaps ways that, maybe the magnetic field in the gas clouds is kind of creating sort of lines and filaments within the dust clouds. Again, you're just illuminating stuff that normally you don't see very clearly, but this flash of light is just allowing us to map out the distribution of dust close to the star in great detail. So that's just one outburst from the star.